Row number 2 to the inside, the 0, that's Chase Weiler. On his outside, the 85, Derek Kroll. Row number 3 to the inside, the Doc, Danny Nicolite in the 22D. On his outside, the 100 of Clint Benson. Row number 4 to the inside, the Bull, Adam Gulley in the 91. On his outside, the 14, Joey Danley. Jeremy Schultz and Dusty Ballinger make up row number 5.
Got one car stalled at the top of turn number 2. Sean Pointer issues on the 20P machine.
And I apologize, I was getting correct instructions from Stacy, our marketing girl. The top 5 finishers in tonight's A features are the 5 drivers that will be in the voting, not points, in the voting. Apparently, Jeff said he had more fun winning that race than any of his hobby stock wins, so that might be why he moved up into stock cars this year.
He didn't have to pay for it. That's probably why.
That's probably it. Green flag is out once again. Weiler and Kroll into turn 1. Benson's going to follow Kroll through on the high side. Benson up to 2nd. Danley into 4th. Now he's looking for 3rd. Benson's got the race lead out of turn 4. Clint Benson, Derek Kroll, Joey Danley, Chase Weiler. And the Doc, Danny Nicolite. Danley looking underneath Kroll for the 2nd spot. Clint Benson, 6 to go. Derek Kroll, Joey Danley, Chase Weiler. Danny Nicolite, Adam Gullion, Dusty Ballinger, and Jeremy Schultz. Four laps left to go. Joey Danley up to that 2nd spot. Derek Kroll holding on to 3rd. Top 5 moving on. Adam Gullion in that transfer spot, but looking for one more. Dusty Ballinger is coming. Danny Nicolite's got it. Gullion cuts it down to the inside, loses his momentum. White flag is out for Clint Benson. Clint Benson, Joey Danley, Derek Kroll, Chase Weiler. Checkered flag waves, the 100 of Clint Benson gets it done. In 2nd, the 14 of Joey Danley. 3rd, the 85, Derek Kroll. The 0 of Chase Weiler in 4th, and I believe your 5th and final transfer, the 22D, Danny Nicolite.
Up and get ready to go. We're going to go green flag racing this time by 2nd of 3, Twin Rivers Sprint Car Heat Races. Of course, big thank you to Twin Rivers for also being a title sponsor along with Pepsi for tonight's Armed Forces Salute. 10 laps put on the scoreboard. Set to go green. Doug Lovegrove, Mike Hausman Jr., and we're racing. Oh, contact! Lovegrove, Hausman Jr. both going over in 1. Yeah, that was a tough break. Going right after the flag stand, Doug just kind of started drifting up the track. Mike Hausman Jr. really had nowhere to go there, but like Kurt said, really nothing that Doug could do about that situation.
You know, race fans and the guys in the booth, Doug Lovegrove's only words for me was, well, that's not how that was supposed to go.
It'll be Gunnar Pike on the point with Gene Ackland to his outside. Brandon Horton and Toby Chapman, row 2. Mitchell Moore and Mark Finnell, row 3. Steve Hurst, Trevor Waller to round out your order. Green flag is out. Second sprint car heat race. Working through 1 and 2. Gene Ackland's going to jump out to the lead on the top side. Here comes Gunnar Pike to the inside. Gunnar had a wild ride a week ago at Crawford County Speedway. Glad to see him back out here. Here comes Toby Chapman now up in a second as Gene Ackland's your leader. Gene Ackland, Toby Chapman, Gunnar Pike having a little bit of handling issues on that 25. Drifts up. Here comes Brandon Horton to his inside the 1B. Mitchell Fisher starting to catch those two. Look at the 57 come on the outside. Top 2 cars that pulled away. A good 3-car battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And Mitchell Moore goes from 5th to 3rd in a lap. What a pass for the 57. Gunnar Pike back to 4th. Brandon Horton rounding out your top 5. Trevor Waller, Mark Finnell, and Steve Hurst. That's your running order as Gene Ackland leading by a half a straightaway over Toby Chapman. Everyone working the high line through 3 and 4. The same can be said here in 1 and 2. Field starting to string out. Toby Chapman trying all he can to run down Gene Ackland, maybe starting to reel him in just a little bit. Gunnar Pike now moves to the bottom side of the speedway. Toby Chapman is reeling in Gene Ackland, but he doesn't have enough time. 3 to go for the 14G. Could meet lap traffic within the next lap or 2. Hurst and Finnell about a half a straightaway ahead of your leader with 2 to go. Brandon Horton trying a little crossover diamond move in 3 and 4, trying to get a good run, not quite going to get there as Gene Ackland has caught the rear of the field. 2 cars in front of him. White flag is out, a 1/3 of a mile to go as he'll get around Hurst. Still has Finnell in front of him, but a lap car between he and Chapman. Mitchell Moore back in 3rd, Pike 4th, Horton 5th. As they come off at turn number 4, your heat race number 2 into the 14G, Gene Ackland. Coming up second will be Toby Chapman, Mitchell Moore, Gunnar Pike, Brandon Horton. That'll be your 5 transfer cars here tonight. So once we got her going, it sure didn't take long to get them in the books.
Row number 3 to the inside, the 14J. That's going to be Josh Riggins on his outside, your defending track champion and last week's feature winner, the 4X Jason Danley. Row number 4 to the inside, the 2E, Jake Galusha on his outside, the 20 of Tim Hilfiger. And Bailey Ballinger in the 6B rounds out the field. Mike Boston ripping the lip on the high side is going to take the early race lead. I don't see the 5A of Andrew Jackson out there. So he didn't make the call. That's why Nate Weiler lined up on the inside of row number 1. Boston gets a little bit high, but he's got a big enough advantage. No big deal there. As Josh Riggins working the outside around Weiler. Riggins a little loose, but he's holding on to that 3rd spot, trying to get second away from Weiler. Jake Galusha making a move 2 on the high side. Mike Boston, Josh Riggins, Nate Weiler, and Jake Galusha can make a little contact. Weiler back to 3rd. 4th is Galusha. 5th is Cole Vanderheiden. That's your 5th and final transfer. 6th is Jason Danley. 7th is Tim Hilfiger and Bailey Ballinger in 8th. Four and a half laps left to go. Galusha making a move to the outside of Weiler for 3rd. Galusha's got 3rd, Weiler 4th. Jason Danley's gotten up into the top 5. He gets by Cole Vanderheiden. Vanderheiden working the low side. Danley on the outside. Mike Boston is nearly half a track in front of Josh Riggins. White flag, final time as Mike Boston dealing with the lap traffic of Bailey Ballinger. Danley gets by Weiler out of turn 4, picking up the big time win. The dominating win, the 51 of Mike Boston. In second, the 14J, Josh Riggins. In third, the 2E of Jake Galusha. Fourth is Jason Danley, and so he might have just been working to get it finished.
Well, it's good to see him back out there. You don't normally see Adam in a B feature, so we'll see what that 91 can do here.
Your 2020 track champion, your multi-time RaceSaver Sprint Car Series series champion. Green flag is out.
And so he does get the spot back, and he takes advantage. The 91, Adam Gullion, your leader, working through 3 of 4. He'll take the lead for lap number 1. Look at the 20 coming outside, Tim Hilfiger.
Good run for Tim Hilfiger. He's up into that 3rd spot. Oh, there is a little bit of a groove. We'll call it a groove that is beginning to develop in turn 3. Got some character to it. Adam Gullion, Dusty Ballinger, Tim Hilfiger, and the 32 of Trevor Waller. That's your top 4. 5th and final transfer. That's a battle between Mark Finnell and Jeremy Schultz.
Cole Vanderheiden in the 5th spot right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Cole, of course, coming off with the win. Hard roll over in turn 2.
Red flag is out. Tim Hilfiger goes over. Four-corner fire and safety crew on the scene with the fire extinguisher, and it's out. Tim is climbing out of the top of the car. Wow.
What a wild ride. He had to have probably went over 4 or 5 times just in midair.
Yeah.
He spun so fast.
Yeah. All right. Field is lining up single file. Caution lights are off. Green flags blinking. We're going to go back to green.
So Adam Gullion gonna set the pace. Turn him loose, coming off of 4. And looks like the body panel, the front hood of Gullion kicking up on that 91. That might impede his vision and maybe the arrow of that 91 machine. Here comes Ballinger in the 2.
Dusty Ballinger starting to make a move on the 91 of Adam Gullion. The 32 of Trevor Waller in 3rd.
I don't think Adam Gullion can barely see right now. That is right in his line of vision.
All he's got to do is see a little bit to his left. 5 laps left to go. Adam Gullion, Dusty Ballinger, Trevor Waller, Cole Vanderheiden, and Jeremy Schultz. That's your top 5 right now.
Dusty Ballinger still within striking distance of the bull, going through 1 and 2. Ballinger once again closing within a car length and a half. Here comes Ballinger to the inside. Gullion drifts up to the middle line, trying to catch that little berm that's building in the middle of the turn. And we've got lap traffic now starting to become ahead of your leaders. Steve Hurst set to go down a lap. Here come your leaders off of 4. An opportunity for Ballinger with 2 to go.
Can Ballinger capitalize? Gullion's going to go high off turn number 2. He'll get by just fine. Top 5, no change. White flag is out. Final time for Adam Gullion.
Dusty Ballinger second. The 32 of Trevor Waller, Colton Vanderheiden, and the 33S Jeremy Schultz off of 4. The ball. Adam Gullion's going to get it done. Dusty Ballinger second. Trevor Waller, Cole Vanderheiden, and Jeremy Schultz, your 5 cars transferring on.
Kurt, can you keep an eye on Race Monitor for track record? Eagle Raceway, here we go, out of turn 4, green flag is out.
Boston works the bottom side of 1 and 2. Field breaks free down the back stretch. Chase Weiler in second. Gene Ackland third. Gunnar Pike fourth. 3 wide back there for 5th. Toby Chapman, Clint Benson, and Derek Krall going at it.
Everybody stays clean. We're good for another lap. Mike Boston working the high side out turn 4. Chase Weiler, Gene Ackland, Gunnar Pike, Clint Benson, Toby Chapman, and Josh Riggins.
Here comes Chapman to the outside of Benson, side by side for that 5th spot. Josh Riggins right behind them. Now Benson with a good run off of 4. He'll get around Gunnar Pike going into 1.
Pike tries to settle down into turn 1. His car wobbles a little bit through the corner. Now Joey Danley's car gets into the 1B of Brandon Horton.
Boy, Jake Galusha cartwheeled really bad coming off of turn 2. He'll lose a few spots. Gullion and Danley will get around him. But up front, it's all Mike Boston. He'll come to 20 to go this time by.
Mike Boston doing a great job holding on. He's won so many races and so many track championships at Eagle Raceway. Took last year off. It's great to see the boss back at Eagle Raceway in 2022. And he's got 19 laps to end up in Demon Decal's victory lane.
Chase Weiler second, Gene Ackland in third, running the bottom side. Clint Benson up top, Toby Chapman through the middle. Side by side once again down the back stretch going into 3. Benson dives down low, Chapman right through the middle.
Mike Boston out diamonding off turn number 2. Chase Weiler, Gene Ackland, Toby Chapman, and Clint Benson going at it for position.
Mike Boston starting to catch the rear of the field. Jeremy Schultz going to be the first one to go a lap down. So maybe an opportunity here for Weiler and the rest of the field to catch the 51.
Danley, Jason Danley was working on Gunnar Pike for a little bit there. Now Gunnar Pike has gotten away. Now Joey Danley's starting to reel in his uncle, the 4X of Jason Danley.
Good 3-car battle right there. Joey diving it off the corner. He'll catch that battle between Jason and Gunnar Pike right through 3 of 4. Meanwhile, Mike Boston does have a lap car between he and Chase Weiler.
Jason Danley gets by Gunnar Pike, so does Joey Danley. Joey now starting to work on his uncle again. Pulls up to the back of the outside of Jason Danley. Out of turn 4, good run for Joey. Not enough though, Jason holds on to the spot.
Meanwhile, Toby Chapman has caught Gene Ackland. That's a good battle starting to shape up for 3rd. Chapman running right through the center of 3 and 4. Ackland working the bottom side, put world famous up to 3rd.
World famous Toby Chapman is on the move. He's trying to reel in the 0 of Chase Weiler. Chapman wants 2nd, but he's got a little ways to go.
Josh Riggins also catching them. I tell you what, Clint Benson and Josh Riggins catching Gene Ackland. We're going to have a 3-car battle there as now Toby Chapman has caught your 2nd place winner, Chase Weiler.
There's plenty of battles all over the racetrack to watch. Chase Weiler finally able to get around the lap traffic. See if he can start to pull back away from Toby Chapman. Chapman a little bit of a slip on the middle of turn 2. Closes back in turns 3 and 4.
tell you what, Mike Boston's about the only driver, especially in 3 of 4, that's working the extreme high line of the speedway. Everyone working the middle to bottom side, and he's able to just drive right around these lap cars.
Out of turn 4, 9 laps to go. Chase Weiler under pressure from Toby Chapman. Chapman's on the high side, they bump.
Close call there between Weiler and Chapman. That lets Josh Riggins close. Here comes the 14J to the inside as we've got a car up the pace. That's one of your lap cars.
Toby Chapman able to get by Riggins. Excuse me, never mind. Riggins closed in on Chapman for a moment there. 7 laps now to go for the boss.
Mike Boston putting Cole Vanderheiden down a lap. Now I believe he'll put Daniel Nicolite down a lap. Chase Weiler and company starting to run out of time. A straightaway lead for the boss.
How about the bull, Adam Golian, from a B feature win up to 9th right now, and he's starting to battle with Jason Danley and Clint Benson.
One of the fastest cars on the speedway right now in that 91. Yeah, he is catching Benson as Benson got crossed up at 4. Here he comes to the outside. Battle for second starting to shape up. Chase Weiler to the inside. Toby Chapman to the outside off of 4.
Toby Chapman finally able to get around Chase Weiler. Boy, he's been working on that for 10 laps.
Does he have enough time to run down Boston? Boston got a little high in turn 4. 3 to go for the 51.
Mitchell Moore has gotten by Adam Golian and Clint Benson. Moore running some seriously fast lap times. 2 laps to go for Mike Boston.
That time by Toby Chapman is faster, so he is reeling in your leader, but he is running out of time. White flag to be shown this time by for the boss.
Can he do it one more time at Eagle Raceway? Don't call him old, don't call him slow, just call him the 10-time champion at Eagle Raceway. Out of turn 4, the boss will end up in Demon Decal's victory lane.
Toby Chapman second, Chase Weiler, Josh Riggins, and Gene Ackland, your top 5. What a feature. And green to checkered, I believe. So those are 20 drivers getting into the races free next Saturday.
Man, that's a great win. So happy for Mike Boston.
Especially for the season that he has had so far. He's had a lot of mechanical issues on that 51. Set to go to Demon Decal's victory lane. Once again, race fans, we thank you for coming out here tonight. We do invite you down to the pit area after tonight's races, or the drivers are parked in the pit area.
Well, one more time, Eagle Raceway. He comes out of Lincoln, Nebraska. He's in an Eagle chassis and a Speedway Motors racing engine. Sponsored by Speedway Motors, Boss Cleaning, Mook Trucking, and Johnson Farms. He's about to get pushed onto the scale. Let him hear it one more time. The boss, Mike Boston!